Persuasive Speech, here's the audience.
Yay!
Hello. Lovely. Thank you, Cheryl. Okay. Can I see? Yeah, okay. Alright, so pretty much today all I'm going to talk about is why life skills should be taught in the classroom. Everyone knows what life skills are?
Yeah. Yes.
Like your basic, hey, let me change a tire, let me balance a checkbook. A lot of students do not know what that even means.
Well,
they don't know how to change a tire. I know some people still don't know how to change a tire. I knew that when I first opened my bank account, I didn't even know what was going on. So certain things are very important to be taught in the classroom. Unfortunately, we do have some factors that do go into that, which is why life skill classes were cut. For example, cooking. Why was that cut? A lot of the time the fundings aren't there. That's why art is also being cut. And everything is being more focused into academics and test-taking skills, which isn't going to help anyone in the future. Let's be honest here. So, Lisa Nunn, who wrote this article on conversation speaking, she agreed in saying that test-taking skills aren't going to bring us closer together. It's going to tear us apart even more, which is actually a pretty upsetting thing to think about, but it's a reality that we all have to think about. So young people don't know. They don't know anything most of the time. So they don't know how to change a tire. They don't know money management a lot of the time. They're just like out there by themselves. That's why a lot of millennials do stay with their parents until they're 30, which is the saddest thing ever. But I'm probably going to be one of those two myself, to be honest with you. Also, like I mentioned before, banking, super upsetting. And the final one that I found really interesting when I was reading an article on successful student is conversing. A lot of people don't even know how to speak because we're all in this technology age where we're all on our phones, we're playing games, we're doing social media, and that is also tearing us even more apart. Brooke Hart, she actually wrote an entire article. It was like a good 10 pages specifically on why conversing is being more spread apart. Nobody talks to each other anymore. Why don't they talk to each other anymore? It makes no sense. We're all here. We should be able to talk to each other, put down the cell phones, put down the computers, and have that one-on-one conversation at least some part of the time. So, should we teach it in schools? Who agrees? Yes, because I totally do. I think it's ridiculous that we don't. It's actually super upsetting that we don't, because a lot of students do go out into the world and have no idea what they're doing. So what do? They rely on their parents. And what do their parents do? Go get a job, go get life experience. And we should teach that in schools. I know that in just a personal experience, in my high school, we did have a cooking class that a lot of people loved. They loved the teacher, Miss Schindler, I think her name was, Schneider, something like that. Schneider? Okay. And she was awesome. You know, I remember in 7th grade, I would constantly just get cookies from her because she was just that cool. But then when I hit 9th grade, she was fired. Why was she fired? Because the fundings were cut. It was the saddest thing I think I've ever seen. And same thing with art and finance classes and stuff like that. They're not as important as test-taking skills. Unfortunately, this affects the students in a negative way when they do grow up, because they're not experiencing things in high school as they should blossom into the future, which that's not something that, how do I say this? It's not something that is making the student better. Test-taking skills are good to an extent. And as said in Teen Treatment Center, they pretty much just explained everything I just said. It's sad that that it's not being taught in schools because it is damaging our future. So pretty much the bottom line, test-taking skills should be put aside for a little bit. It's not as important at the moment as is life skills. So I wanted to thank you guys so much for letting me speak. Yay!
Round of applause.
Round of applause.